Today was absolute brute force. I mean, we just went out and put down as much watts as we could, and we said if we blow up today, we try again tomorrow, you know.
Stage 2 delivered another relentless day of racing in the rugged terrain around Montagu. In the men's race, it was a tense and tactical battle from the start, with all the major contenders locked together over the long climb to Oberg Pass. Mechanical drama once again played its part, most notably for Wout Alleman and Martin Storsek, whose delays proved costly. A select group carried the fight to the finish, where Sam Gaze and Luca Schwartzbauer of Team Canyon timed their move perfectly to take the stage win, while Matthew Beers and Tristan Nortje did just enough to hold on to the overall lead, now by just seconds. In the women's race, it was a two-team showdown for much of the day. Kate Courtney and Greta Sevold set an aggressive tempo, but the GC leaders Candice, Lill and Alessandra Keller played their tactics to perfection, striking late to secure another stage win. Behind them, mechanical troubles derailed the challenge of Vera Lossa and Rosa van Duren, reshaping the general classification. After 2 days of racing, the margins remain tight, but the pressure is building. Stage 3 of the Absa Cape Epic rolled out as a romantic callback to the race's past. A long, demanding journey from Montagu to Greyton on a mix of gravel roads and trails. The weather was cool and overcast, relief for the riders perhaps after 3 days of high temperatures. The men's racing started fast through Kochmanskloof Pass, with teams working together across the open roads, a real test of partnerships and patience. The day would prove to be a constant slog of pedalling and perseverance. In the elite men's race, all eyes were on Matthew Beers and Tristan Nortje, who held a narrow lead in the general classification, with rivals circling on a stage designed to expose any weaknesses. For the elite women, the challenge was slightly shorter but no less demanding, 108 kilometres and 1,450 metres of climbing, with Candice, Lill and Alessandra Keller looking to defend their commanding lead. From Bonneville, the climb of De Krasser and to the crossing of the Breda River, Stage 3 promised to split the field, with the most powerful riders taking the opportunity to push the pace. And with a long drag to Middle Pass and Greyton forming the bulk of the stage, this was always going to be a day for strength and strategy.
Yeah, so it definitely is a long day, 140 Ks, not as much climbing, which is quite nice. And I think, yeah, that portion from like 20 to 60 Ks is going to be quite important to be close to the front, just to stop any rubber band effect out of corners, because it looks a bit like, someone whose heart rate's had a bit too much coffee. So it's definitely going to be a bit of a focus point there. And then it's just a matter of being conservative. I think, in my opinion, Cape Epic starts tomorrow, so today's the last sort of day to really, keep the batteries recharged as much as possible.
I think it's the longest stage, 140 Ks, so yeah, it's going to be 5 hours plus, which is nice. It's a proper day. Obviously not like a lot of climbing. It's going to be interesting to see how the race plays out, but yeah, body's feeling. I think everyone will be feeling a little bit mugh by now. We've had 2 hard days, so yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this stage is quite special, I think. I have also never raced like 5 hours or more. And yeah, in the end, I think my legs weren't great the first 3 days. Actually, I hope that the legs get even a little bit better. But yeah, you never know, and we are not so experienced with that. But let's see.
Stage 3 was a throwback to a bygone era. 140-kilometre near gravel grind from the picturesque town of Montagu to the dramatic wide-open farmlands of Greyton. It was a stage that echoed the race's earliest years, when survival mattered just as much as speed. Out of the start, the pace was immediate. No easing into this one. Matt Beers, as always, looked ready for action. The yellow jersey leader moved right to the front to control the pace. Within the first hour, early drama. Marc hit trouble with a puncture. A quick repair kept him in contention, but it was an early reminder today would be unforgiving. Marc Pritzen, racing alongside Felix Stehli for the Honeycomb 226s, has been in good form this week, only for the team to constantly lose ground due to bad luck. On stage 3, he was in the thick of the action once more. On the front, Absa Speed Company, also beset by bad luck on stage 2, began to animate the race, stretching things out as the peloton rolled onto the gravel. It was a day for big bunches, high pace, power and awareness. The field was compact. Everyone was watchful. This caused congestion at a feed zone, with some riders losing bottles and others their partners. Beers was caught in the traffic, as were Tapada Candice and Clementitza Aubert. No bother for the three-time champion as he roared ahead, dragging friend and foe alike. The effort was much appreciated from the riders around Beers, Casey South and David Valero thanking the big South African. The pace was fierce, as was the competition. At one stage, the lead group numbered more than 20 teams on the fast district roads of the Oberberg. For nearly 30 kilometres, the lead group rolled on as one. The pivotal moment in the day came around the 80-kilometre mark, when Tristan and Nortje suffered a front tyre puncture. It meant the yellow jersey leaders dropped off the front, with the rest of the title contenders using the opportunity to push ahead.
Tristan somehow got a front flat at around, I don't know, it was like 80 or 70 or something. And yeah, obviously he noticed it just before the tick, so our guys were in the front and we just had to make the call and swap it. And yeah, I mean, tailwind, it's so hard to make up time, like it was just impossible. Like we made up a really good chunk and then came close and then went out, came close, went out. So yeah, we just try to minimize our losses.
Nortje's misfortune allowed the lead group to finally splinter. In the front, Pritzen and Stehli, the only one of the elite men riding the new 32-inch size wheels, broke away from the chasers, only to be reeled back in.
I basically used the tactics that I raced in Wise to Wales. I ride at 450 watts, that means they have to ride it more, you know. So when I went to the front, I rode at those watts, and yeah, I mean, that's simple math at the end of the day. And I'm for a tall guy, I'm quite aero as well. So yeah, I just went all in, and I mean, I knew they're gonna have their work cut out today to catch us, because we're not on the GC anymore. We don't care about tomorrow, so we went all in.
A similar pattern followed for the remainder of the race, Pritzen and Stehli breaking away, Willie Vittoria and Buff BH catching them again. Beers and Nortje worked tirelessly, but they just couldn't reach the front of the race again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I just didn't want to kill him, so we just had to pace it really well. And yeah, we caught groups. But in that front group, obviously they were super. I mean, I would do the same, you know. You have to take now the opportunity and drill it. They had some big engines in there, so I knew it would be a tough task, just me on my own, because obviously no one's going to help. So yeah, I just had to do what I could.
A wry shake of the head from a tired Sam Gaze of Canyon as the elastic snaps. Pritzen's tactics of going flat out finally break that elastic. The eventual stage winners pull away from the chasers and hammer home towards the middle-class finish line. The chasing bunch remains steady in pursuit, and Beers just managing the efforts of his Toyota Specialized Mbuko teammate Nortje. The terrain offered no favours as the race village drew nearer. Pritzen and Stehli continued to up the tempo. But with 10 kilometres to go, the race appeared to be in the bag for the South African national marathon champion and his Swiss teammate. Covered in mud, but still riding with authority and power, the stage leaders put every ounce of energy they could summon into their efforts. A short technical trail fed onto a farm field finish. One last Cape Epic challenge. A sublime victory for a pair of riders who have bounced back superbly from some bad luck this week.
I mean, winning a Cape Epic stage is honestly the ultimate thing in mountain biking, and to do it in a marathon jersey, which was my second biggest win now. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's been an incredible roller coaster these last couple of days, a lot of downs, and yeah, it's just so rewarding to finally have a successful day. We just went out and put down as much watts as we could, and we raced the race from the front. We weren't scared of blowing up. We said if we blow up today, we try again tomorrow, you know. So yeah, at the end of the day, we went all in, and we raced to win, and we won.
Yeah, I mean, my preparation for this Cape Epic was like not ideal. With the loss of my mom, I had to go through very terrible feelings, and but yeah, I never give up, and I just wanted to fight for her, and yeah, to win it with Marc together a stage at Cape Epic is unbelievable.
Yeah, there was a long single trail in the beginning, and the field was quite stretched already, and then going into the vineyards, it was super sandy, and I must have hit the stone, had a flat again, had to change the wheel in the first feed zone, and riding on the rim to get there and losing a lot of time again, so we chased back. Tried to recover a bit, and then the race, some guys opened the race, was super hard pace, full gas attacks, and a super long stage, and yeah, we suffered a bit, but yeah, like last 20 kilometers we started to feel better and better, and yeah, we tried something in the end, but it was not really possible to open a gap. But super happy that after 2 days in a row, like having flat tires, and so that we are still in the game, I think, so it's good.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but yeah, I mean, it would have been hard today anyway to just keep it with 2 seconds. This finish was really quite terrible, but yeah, it's still cool. We still have African jersey, and we're still in the fight. I think maybe it's a little bit more. I think we in second by a better margin now. So yeah.
An emotional and well-deserved first place on stage 3 for Marc, Pritzen and Felix Stehli after some bad luck earlier in the week. Buff BH snuck into second place while Villiers Victoria claimed third. But it's in the GC where Villiers Victoria are smiling. They have taken the overall yellow leader jerseys off the backs of Beers and Nortje. The early race leaders now second and over a minute behind Brido and Avendetto. All smiles and anticipation ahead of stage 3.
It's always a bit like you wake up in the morning and it's like, okay, we've definitely been racing, but it's obviously the same for everybody. And yeah, I think Alessandra and I are having a really nice ride together. In orange, obviously, an extra bonus. But yeah, I think today's a long day. We're gonna just see what we can do, see how the racing goes, and yeah, hopefully have a safe one. We just have to be smart. We do have the lead. Yeah, not make any mistakes and just save energy to try and take some seconds where we can.
Yeah, it's my first Cape Epic, and I can feel like it starts to get, like the body starts to get tired, but still, I mean, it's the same for everyone, and I think I did think it's going to be like this.
I can't tell any story, but she's not ashamed.
It's not a single day race, it's an 8-day race, and we needed to do that to give ourselves a good cushion on third, and now, yeah, we feel like we have nothing to lose and everything to gain from racing really aggressively.
It was a hard effort. On paper it looks like for nothing because we lost so much time, but we are hungry for more. We're here to race and we'll do that. So yeah, maybe we can save a little bit of energy today, see what we can do in the final, and then from tomorrow the gun is off again.
I think we have around 3 minutes gap to the leader jersey, which is not big, to be honest. And we have a big gap to third place, so that makes us sitting in a really good position because we have nothing to lose. Only to win.
Not everyone was in such a good position.
It's complicated. We have no strategy. As you cannot
make a plan if you cannot count on your partner. So we take it day by day. Hope she's getting more into the race and being able to keep my wheel. That's all I can hope for.
I think most women have the same strategy, which is kind of stay protected, try use the groups, and conserve. I have raced at Greyton, but it was quite a while ago, and if I think how different Montagu was to the last time we were there, it's actually an unknown for me. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay in the heat generally, but of course to give the body a break, yes, definitely nice to have some cooler weather.
In the early parts of the stage, the elite women's bunch moved forward as one. Greta Sevald, a strong technical rider, has been enjoying the descent so far this week. She took every opportunity to stretch the elastic band when the chance presented itself.
I think racing for third is definitely on, but even the front, you never know what happens. I mean, one of those teams can also have a horrible day like we did yesterday. But yeah, I think today is more a road race, probably a hard day to make up time, but there's a lot of really hard stages coming up. Yeah, Rosa's super strong. We ride really well together. I really enjoy her. I enjoy the youth about her. Started racing the Cape Epic, I was around her age. But yeah, it's amazing. The spirit is so very high. She's super motivated, which rubs off on me, so that's good.
For much of the 108-kilometre stage, the main contenders in the elite women's race were inseparable, even though some had stage-winning ambitions.
Yeah, I think our focus is for the stage win. I think we have a big dream to win the stage. Of course, we want to go back on the podium for the GC. We have now 2 minutes to the third place for the GC, so we will try to get back, of course. But yeah, what I said, stage win, we will make good plans for it.
Overall, Orange Chivita jersey leader Candice Lill was happy to bide her time in the bunch, knowing that an attack from the second place She-Sense Foundation was likely to emerge later in the day. Bianca Horn, the red Absa African jersey, had pushed the tempo early in the stage. She moved briefly to the front again before Haley Breen and Haley Smith took their turn. A short tie interlude allowed the leaders to chew up some easy kilometres. The front of the race now firmly established with 5 leading elite women's teams. Thomas Max and Sabi, She-Sense Foundation, Buff BH Efficient Infinity, ChemChamp Honeycomb all leading the charge. Horn Sam Sanders of Sani to See Efficient Infinity raced well throughout the day, but ultimately dropped back to finish 6th, leaving Katazina Sosna Pinele and Georgia Marche to claim 5th on stage 3. It was a case of concentration and waiting to strike for She-Sense Foundation. Early surges were reeled in, with Lill and Keller wise to their moves. Around the 70-kilometre mark, the She-Sense Foundation pair made their move. It was a bold attack and looked like it would prove fruitful as they pulled away. But they just couldn't hold off a rampant Lill and Keller. The GC leaders responded with grit and determination and moved to the front of the race after a powerful chase back to the breakaway.
Absolutely, we're so happy. As everyone knows, we had some drama coming into this race, and it's actually just a huge gift to be on the start line and to be out there competing. And I think, today we really raced. Like, we made it dynamic, we made it fun, we made it tactical, and that's what it's all about. yeah, you never know when there's going to be an opportunity at Epic, and if you never try, you'll never get the opportunity. But if we keep racing aggressively, like maybe there'll be a moment where we catch an opportunity and we can really make something of it. And if not, then we'll have a whole lot of fun and know that we push ourselves to the limit and can be really proud of how we rode.
Courtney and Sewald put in a big shift to consolidate their position in second place on the GC.
I think we wanted just to make the racing a little bit like fun and exciting, because honestly the stage of today was like a proper transfer stage. So it was big fire roads most of the time. I think 90% of the stage were just wide open, and we just like to race. So a move like that one that we tried makes racing exciting to watch, I think.
The Italian and the American enjoyed their efforts at the front, as well they might.
Oh, it was quite interesting actually today. I thought, the women's race might be a bit more like chilled and we just take it easy, but it was really interesting actually and dynamic. I think Kate's attack was probably at about 70 kilometers. And yeah, it was just like this long, steep drag, and Greta was out in front, and I think she saw like, what if I throw an attack and try and bridge to Greta? And yeah, then obviously we had to follow, and the four of us, well, we made contact, and then the four of us rolled together, but the others caught again. Really, I think because I mean, in the end we could still make our attack and they couldn't follow. So yeah, I think it's just about where you spend your energy. I mean, it was a great attack from Kate, like really, it was smart. But yeah, I just think our teamwork was better on the day.
There is no doubt that Courtney, Sewald, Lill and Keller are enjoying their time at the front of the 2026 Absa Cape Epic. Both teams have attacked, countered and attacked again, bringing excitement and thrills to the elite women's race. Vera Larsa and Rosa van Doorn have also added to the thrill of the chase despite their bad luck. On stage 3 they summoned reserve depths of energy to sneak home in third ahead of Hayley Breen and Hayley Smith.
Well, I was in the front the last 2 kilometers because it's quite twisty and turny, and then you can kind of set your own pace because nobody can really come past. And then Hayley came past, Hayley Breen, but then Rosa jumped on her wheel and I was on Rosa's wheel, and I knew we just had to, the second wheel over the line count, so I just had to stay there. And yeah, the legs were screaming, but you just had to give it all over that line.
Can anyone stop the Lill and Keller train? They paced their race expertly again on stage 3, timing their surge for the finish to perfection. She Sends Foundation raced hard for second, with Buff BH Efficient Infinity recovering well from stage 2's mishaps to finish third on stage 3. In the elite women's GC, Lill and Keller now lead She Sends Foundation by almost 5 minutes with 4 stages to go. After a strong ride on stage 3, Hayley Breen and Hayley Smith of Chem Champ Honeycomb moved into third overall, but only 50 seconds ahead of Buff BH Efficient Infinity. It's a Greyton loop on stage 4, taking in some of the best and trickiest trails of the region. The rocks will be loose, the climb steep. Classic Greyton trails ready to snare a hapless victim. A moment's hesitation or lack of concentration could change the race narrative in a flash. The full route is 87 kilometres with 1,750 metres of climbing, but the elite women's race will start in Greyton town and cover 61 kilometres with 1,450 metres of climbing.